All right, we back at it. 13 love, 13 wisdom, 13 knowledge, 13 respect. Rise and fly high. Stay true like them nines. I am Royal Obey, son of Big Mama, Nets, Net Roots, Nate, guys, Nate, Keenies, proud member of TLC Community Private. We out here. Check it out. Listen, so I was speaking about enlightenment, and enlightenment is that aha moment that we get a lot of times. You know, that eureka. Like even when you watching cartoons and you see them, they have an idea and they'll have like this line that kind of looks like a heartbeat, but it's like a thunder shock, and the bowl comes on. All that is symbolizing the enlightenment. And you know, even though they give it to you in a more diluted form, when they're just saying it's a thought, your thought is energy, and so where your energy goes, where your focus or your attention or your thought goes, your energy flows. So you always, that's why that's always important. Well, our ancestors put on the temple walls and everything, know thyself, man, know thyself, because by you doing that, you have to go inside. So what I mean when we were speaking about going inside or meditation, you are putting your attentions back into your own thoughts. So as you're doing that, you're redirecting the energy to you. You see what I'm saying? So this comes into when you have to like conquer your own inner demons. You know what I'm saying? The more powerful or the more energy the thought holds, once the thought is conquered or the problem is resolved, that same energy that's held within that thought or that demon or that, you know, that vice that you might have, all that energy comes back and it enlightens you. And so this is getting deeper into, like, you know, when you're dealing with the angels and demons and how they say that that's just the ones that came before us say, you know, we all have to deal with angels and demons on this planet. That's another story. I'm really just trying to give you a tip on meditation, right? So when you're in meditation, I was watching this video with by one of the unks I consider to be my elders, Elian Elamine. He's a breatharian on YouTube. You can go look him up. He has a lot of different guests on his stream and everything when he records. He travels around the world teaching breatharianism. Real good brother, real good dude. He had a lady on there. She was like a Buddhist priestess, I believe, and she was speaking, or a Hindu priestess, and she was speaking about meditation. And she said a name for it. I can't remember the exact name for it, but basically, he was saying that the name meant stillness is like stillness is closer to God. Being still is like being God. The more still you are, the more closer to God you are. And she was breaking down, and I liked how she said that your thoughts is like the passing clouds. And that's a great analogy, because when you're laying on the ground and you're looking at clouds, you're not necessarily watching every single cloud go by. You might start off doing that, but even then, as they go past you, they're no longer in your view. They're no longer in your perception. They're no longer in your side of view. They're no longer what's the word I'm looking for? It's no longer important to you once that happens. You know what I'm saying? So it's think about that when you're dealing with your thoughts, because as we sit in meditation and we get to that point of stillness, and a lot of the inner demons and angels begin to surface, or your good and your bad thoughts begin to surface, or memories, you don't necessarily want to not think anything, because if you're not thinking anything, you're thinking about not thinking of anything. So that's counterproductive. It's the same as an unstoppable force coming against an immovable object. It's the same thing. It's counterproductive. Both are going to bounce a negative, cancel each other out. So you want to allow the thoughts to flow through you, because now when you're dealing with the thoughts, you're dealing with emotions, because the emotion is what's triggering the memory, because that's what the emotion is attached to. So when you're triggering that, you're triggering your heart, you're triggering your emotions, you're triggering that water side of you, and you're allowing it to flow. Now, as it reaches to the top, to the mind, to the seat of the soul, it's coming into the air, the ether, where that is like the mental energy. That's the knowing. That's the interstate highway. That's that grid where all these boxes are going on a line, and then they're just breaking off and going to different places. That's that. And so that's your filtering. That's your digestion. That's your processing. That's your processing unit. Is your mind. It's your computer. You know, motherboard, from the motherboard to the computer. Think about it like that. From the screen, from the motherboard to the screen, there's a process that's being taken before it's seen on the screen in the physical realm. You see what I'm saying? So through that's the motherboard. All the circuits and everything's going through, and the motherboard, she's telling you what to do. So, right. So as the memories start coming, you do want to see them as like passing clouds. You see the thought. You don't ignore the thought. You see it as it comes, and you don't see it as it goes. And if you find yourself being in a state where you start seeing an old thought, and you find yourself being like really stuck on that thought, this is where your meditation is coming in, where it's teaching you how to be in control of the situation. You have to be able to pull yourself back into that dark space again, that peace where you started from. Like when you close your eyes at night, you just laying in the bed, that you have to pull yourself back to that and just keep going back into the flow of the memories. The more you do this, it's a lot of things that happen. But the tip is, like I was saying on the other video, we all have to deal with angels and demons. And so enlightenment is dealing with resolving, realization, and that aha moment. That's what enlightenment is. So if you have a lot of demons or bad memories in you, the more you conquer those memories or you resolve those problems, all that energy that has been feeding that memory or that demon for so long is going to burst. Think of it like a balloon. It's going to burst, and it's going to enlighten back into you. It's going to come back into you. That's enlightenment. And it never stops. It's always going, because you're going to always remember something, because we come from an infinite source. We don't come from an ending. You see what I'm saying? Enlightenment is your past resolved in the present, so that you can properly build a better future. I think that's it. 13 love, 13 wisdom, 13 knowledge, 13 respect. Rise and fly high, stay true like the nines. I am Royal Obey. Son of Big, I'm a mama, netters, not to rules. Niggas, nigginis, I'm out.